Hey y'all, how are you? So I had something completely different I was going to do for the voiceover for this. I actually had recorded part of it, and then I realized that that wasn't really what I wanted to do. This is a creative time, creativity, and an explanation. Did you know that 50 to 100 million people, 1 in 10, are in pain every day for at least 3 months or more? That we have 1.5 billion worldwide. So the 50 to 100 million would be United States. The 1.5 billion would be worldwide. And out of those people, 77% of the people who have chronic pain suffer from some kind of depression. 20% of them have disruptions in their sleep, in their day, in their productivity. And I'd say that number is actually probably higher. And the reason I want to talk about that is because more people suffer from chronic pain than diabetes, heart disease, and cancer combined. I do. I have chronic pain. I have a chronic illness, and more than one actually, I guess I should say. And being creative, living a creative life, is sometimes disrupted by that pain. That's what happened to me this week. I overdid it Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday, I picked up Victor from school at 11. Tuesday, we did yard work. Wednesday, we did yard work. I also played with Victor out in the yard. I also cleaned the house Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then cleaning. We put our new to us stove in and got it working. Yeah, it's been a busy week for a lot of different things. And although I have been productive, I have not met my commitments. Life is messy. And even with knowing about how to help manage the pain, even with medication sometimes, even with the exercises that I learned in physical therapy, and even with the last few months concentrating on self-care and taking time for myself, you can have a bad day. And not only is it hard to deal with the pain, but it's also hard to concentrate, at least for me. And when the bad days interfere with my commitments, with my priorities, with the things that I need to do, and I'm late with those things, I'm filled with guilt and shame. I let people down, not just y'all, family members. And this week, it was a weird week. Not only was it my son's birthday yesterday, he turned 30. I ended up spending about 4 hours with my daughter yesterday afternoon. Victor went to his other grandmother's, and my daughter needed some me time. She also stayed for a little while Wednesday evening. As you are going to see, parts of this video were filmed at the coffee table, and parts were filmed on the craft table. That's because Mr. Rockstar made me take to the recliner Thursday, because when I woke up Thursday morning, I could not move my neck completely. The right side of my neck and my shoulders and down part of my back on the upper part were swollen, was inflamed. You could see I looked like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and or Notre Dame, and it was bad. It was bad. So he made coffee. He made us a little breakfast. He gave me some Aleve, and I don't like to take pain medicine. I do have a little bit of it. I don't like to take it, but I ended up taking it Thursday afternoon. I took a nap. As soon as the pain medicine kicked in, I took a nap. I woke up, Mr. Rockstar cooked dinner. He had to go to work Friday night, so he's working nights all this weekend, so I won't be taking Sunday off. I will be probably doing 2 live videos, one for y'all and one for YouTube. If y'all would rather not have a live video, I will just film another video because I owe the $15 tier a video. But I wanted you to understand what was going on, and I thought I'd talk about it since it does affect my creativity. And people have asked how I am creative. What do I do with my day? How do I balance things? How do I make time for my creativity? Sometimes I make time for my creativity without the camera rolling, and it's easier, especially when I'm in pain, to do that. So those are the times when I do things like reading, when I do my writing, when I do my regular Dear Diary kind of journaling, when I do some of my planning, I don't always film my planning because some of it doesn't really, I don't know, it's just not, to me, it's not all that interesting. I mean, you know, and sometimes it's personal. So is my journaling for that matter. Some things, you know, some things are cool to show on social media and some things aren't. And I feel more sensitive about those things when I'm in a lot of pain because that's when I normally do more venting in my journaling. Um, like I said, life is messy sometimes. But I'm filled with that guilt and shame because, like I said, I've let people down. I haven't fulfilled all of my obligations, whether it's as a parent, as a wife, as a creator. YouTube didn't get very many videos at all this week. Y'all haven't gotten everything like you normally would. You've gotten content, but it's not been what I really wanted, and some of it's been late. And the only way, and all of that makes me feel like shit. It does, to be honest. It makes me feel like shit. And I realize that as hard as I've been working to try to get a little bit ahead, all it takes is one really bad day of pain or two really bad days of pain. Forget it if it's three, because I'm still in pain now. And I'm affected by all of that. The only way I've been able to deal with the guilt and the shame and the feeling of stress and anxiety, because overall what happens when I get like this, I get super stressed out because of the anxiety, because of the overwhelm, because I feel all of this stress over not fulfilling obligations. The guilt and the shame are eating at me. That wreaks havoc with the anxiety. The anxiety wreaks havoc with the ADHD. I have trouble concentrating. And all of that causes depression. I was doing so well. And I refuse to let it beat me up any more than it already has. I dwelled on this on and off. My daughter was like, well, Mom, you can film. I can be quiet. And then I said no. Because she is just as important as my own self-care. You know, I needed probably that for myself as well as for her. And we both sat down and we created art together and we talked on and off while we were doing this. Her more than me. um, she drew a picture of a park in my journal for me. I asked her, she was like, well, Mom, is there anything you want me to do? And I asked her to draw the picture of the park in the journal for me. And she did. It's taking care of myself. Real self-care. So now that I'm working on that self-care, really, really working on it, I've realized really how important it is to have a better balance between work, home, family, and it's been growing organically. I've been finding the balance more organically until this week. And this week, it hit me because I put my daughter first, because I put Victor first, because Mr. Rockstar put my self-care first on Thursday because I was still going to be editing video. I had some of the video filmed, I just didn't have all of it edited. And this is me, I'm filming this right here on Wednesday. The other part I filmed Thursday, the other part I filmed Friday. So I had some footage I could have edited. It didn't have to be time-lapsed. I could have done the voiceover. And he said, you are not sitting in that chair at that desk in front of that computer for hours trying to get a video edited. You're not going to. I was trying to chronicle the supplies I want to use for my travel bag for urban sketching or plein air sketching because I need to streamline a few things. I wanted this to-go palette for something. You know, it was like, this will work pretty well for some things. Maybe the other palette will work better for other things. I really want to concentrate more on getting out of my comfort zone and getting outside in my own yard, in the park, in the playground, downtown, at Starbucks, wherever I can go. And I want to start doing more of this. Getting out in front of people, whether I am only taking pictures of my work and then I create a video out of the pictures, or, you know, whatever. I mean, if I can actually film, then great. If I can't, then that's okay too. But it's important to me because focusing on the things that I enjoy, focusing on those things that bring me joy, focusing on my creativity is therapeutic. Creative outlets for me are a form of therapy. It's what helps me get through the bad days, the pain, by writing or reading or journaling or DIY projects if my body will allow. Now, sometimes my body won't allow me to do certain things, but I can lay back in the recliner with the heating pad on and read. Sometimes I can write depending on how, but sometimes it's really hard to create art like that in the recliner. I can't do that. I can do some journaling, some reading, some writing, work on my novel because I can handwrite things. But it makes it difficult sometimes living with a chronic illness, with chronic pain. It's debilitating. It makes you feel isolated, lonely. It affects your self-esteem and your self-worth because you feel less than. You don't feel like, you're performing at your best. You don't feel like you're a regular person, a normal person. And especially if you have a chronic illness that doesn't show forth physically. So if you were to look at me, I look healthy. I seem normal. Sometimes you can tell if you watch me walk or watch me move, get up, things like that. You can tell I'm in pain. You can tell. If you notice sometimes one side of my neck or my shoulders is swollen, inflamed. But for the most part, I look healthy, normal. I don't look disabled. But I do suffer from chronic pain. I do have a chronic illness. If I were to actually go and apply for disability, I could probably get it, but it would cost us money because I'd have to get a lawyer, and I can't afford to do that right now. But if I added up the number of days I've missed out on things, whether it's work or family or just life things, I'd say it would be at least 20 plus days. And we're ending the 23rd week of the year right now. Tomorrow will be the 24th. The 24th week starts next week. So it's next week, which is the halfway point for the year. And I've already missed more than 20 days of work or family stuff or life stuff, getting out and doing things I really like to do, being around people, doing things I really want to do with the people that I love and care about, cleaning the house, working, being creative, doing things like that. And the pain also affects the depression, the anxiety, and ADHD. So if I've got half of the year and I've already got approximately about a month I've missed of my life doing things I want to do, doing things I love to do, doing things I need to do of my life, those days, I've missed those days. Almost a month's worth of my days have been gone, taken from me, missed because of the chronic pain. Then you got to figure by the end of the year, I'm going to have missed probably another 20 to 30 days. So that's basically an average of about 2 months a year. I'm missing out on life. I'm missing, and I'm stuck either in the recliner or in the bed or on the couch with a heating pad and pain medicine. And I don't like to take pain medicine. Pain medicine makes me woozy. It knocks me out. If Aleve doesn't fix it, then I'm in trouble because I really don't like to take pain medicine. But I did. I took it Thursday and I took it this morning. So I'm still a little woozy, so you'll have to forgive me for being a little woozy. Missing out on being creative, on doing things I love, on doing things that bring me joy. There's a difference between showing up when I'm going through stuff and I'm depressed or I'm anxious or I'm grieving. That showing up is different. When I'm in pain, it affects all of those things. And I show up when I'm in pain still. I'm showing up right now. But Mr. Rockstar forcing me Thursday to take the day off really made me take a long, hard look at how I look at the plowing through to get things done, how I look at showing up, how I look at my own self-care. And I realized that I've been really good about the self-care for the most part. I've been really good about self-care. but I'm still not doing it as much as I need to, or in a way that is needed sometimes, because he had to force me to take the day off. Maybe I need a more or ergonomic chair. I know I need a new chair. This chair is part of the problem. Maybe I need one of those things that will go on your desk that is adjustable, that you can make at a certain height, that you can actually use as a standing desk, so I can stand up some, sit down some. I don't know. If I raise the chair up too much, then my feet dangle, and that's not good for my circulation. So I don't want this whole video to be about that. I wanted to talk about it some because it is part of my creative life. It's part of my creative time. And it affects my work. It affects my family. It affects my cleaning of the house. Yeah. Thank goodness I have a really understanding and supportive spouse. Thank goodness that I have learned so much about my own self-care over the last few months, because I didn't turn my daughter away and go, oh, but I'm busy. I didn't put my work or anything else ahead of Victor on Wednesday. I picked him up at 11 o'clock in the morning. He was with me until about 8 o'clock Wednesday evening. 7:30? Yeah, I think my daughter left here about 8 Wednesday evening. I think she got here about 6 or 6:30, and she left here about a little bit after 8. Victor needed that Mimi time just as much as my daughter needed the mama time, because when Wednesday she ended up talking to David more than she talked to me, because Victor wanted my attention. And once his mom got there, especially, he was all about some Mimi, because he knew he was leaving. I've been hesitant to talk about this too much because I don't want to sound like a victim. I don't want to feel like a victim, and I have felt like a victim. A victim to the pain, the guilt, the shame. But the truth is that we're all human, and we all go through things, and life is messy. So can art supplies be messy. And the reason that I wanted to do this is that I really wanted to sort of chronicle my creative time in real life way, in a real life way. That's why you see the filming of this in sections, because that's what was required. That's why I keep streamlining my travel bag for urban sketching, plein air sketching, the going out and doing that, because I kept packing my bag like I would be journaling and traveling, because I wanted to take all of the things, and I don't need all of the things for urban sketching. So I'm revamping my travel supplies for that. I'm going to be doing a lot more of that over this summer. I'm going to be chronicling things a lot more. I'm really excited about that. I'm going to be changing things up for One Book July. I'm going to be changing things up because not only am I going to be participating in One Book July, I'm also going to be participating in the World Watercolor Month in July. My birthday's in July. Victor's birthday's in July. We have a lot of things going on in July. And to be honest, it's going to be a really busy month. We also have Camp NaNoWriMo in July. And I'm going to do some writing videos. I haven't really been doing much of those lately because I feel like a fraud doing writing videos when the bulk of my writing has been more summary and ideas and plotting things out in my head and on paper than actual writing of the novel. But that's still working on the novel, so I think it's still important. I was working on what is called Shadow and Light. I got this from the book. He talks about how deciding things about color and size and shape is actually a chain of decisions. And part of that has to do with shadow and light, that shadows are where no direct light falls, and that producing a sense of space with watercolors is mainly involves painting the shadows. The contours are established by your drawing, and the glaze is what builds the bridge between the light and the contour. And I found that really interesting. This picture did not come out the way that I wanted it to, but I did practice and I did try. The hat is what throws it off, I do believe, and the fact that his head is just a little too small. So then I drew lines and shapes, and I shaded those. Like I made lines to shadow so that I could learn a little bit more. I'm going to continue with this. I'm going to look in some of the other books I have about shadow and contouring and with drawing and sketching to learn more about this. This is what I'm talking about in creative time. This is one of the things that I did when the pain medicine kicked in and I could do a little bit. So I did a little bit, and this was just pretty much 2 pages of, that's all there is. It's just these pages where I wrote down information, because he says to use a mid-tone, a medium gray to a light gray shade for doing the shadows, to do it in black and white, to just draw and then use the marker, the gray mid-tone or light. And he says you can squint your eyes to help you see the shadows, but you can also study old black and white photos, because what happens is light and shadow helps give your work a sense of space and dimension, and your drawing gains depth with that. So that's something I'm going to continue to practice on, and I think it will be really helpful. I feel like I'm gaining headway with some things. For everything that's kind of been stunted this week, there's also been an immense amount of growth and learning. I'm starting to feel a little bit of headway with video editing software. Now here's my Omni Journal, and with my Omni Journal, people have asked how I'm using 2 journals and why. Why am I doing this? And I have to say, the Omni Journal is where I write down notes. The Omni Journal is where I write down quotes. The Omni Journal is where I do some doodling. It's where I formulate ideas and thoughts and kind of put it all on paper. And I do, in a way, document my day in this, but it's a completely different kind of thing for the most part than what I do in the other notebook, which I'm beginning to think more and more of as my artist journal. Because I'm doing more sketching, I am still memory keeping, I'm doing the prompts, but I'm sort of, for a lot of the prompts, making them fit with real life. I had just drawn a hot air balloon because we watched Jules Verne's The Mysterious Island. We watched the movie, the newer one and the older one. We watched the new one with The Rock. Then we watched another one. I think the other one might have been on Amazon Prime. But anyway, I watched the documentary. I've been doing some of that, and I document statistics, notes, quotes, anything, little doodles. And these doodles are going to end up, I'm practicing the doodles because I'm going to end up doing a few things of PDF stuff because I want to start doing my own stickers. Once I get some more ink cartridges, I'm going to need to get some extra ones, so I need to wait a little bit longer because right now I'm not really concentrating on pictures so much. I do have the instant camera if I really want a picture. Right now I've been concentrating. Last month was more of a month for pictures in my journal. I did some tip-ins, I added some pictures, I did all kinds of stuff. This month is more watercolor. It's more sketching and drawing and doodling. And I'm okay with that. It changes. And like I said, if I really want a picture, I can take an instant picture. I do have enough ink in my printer to print out a few pictures, but I printed out all those pictures for Mother's Day for my daughter and my mom and my mother-in-law to put in those frames, and that took a lot of my ink. I also changed my palette around. I'm using that really big tin that says paint box on it, and it looks like it has Aladdin on it, and it doesn't completely close very well. So I'm going to check out the hinges, and because I wanted some more room to spread out. I really love the Daniel Smith watercolors. I'm enjoying the Holbein. They're a completely different animal. Daniel Smith granulates so well, and I love the Schminke. They're smooth and buttery. The Holbeins are smooth and buttery. I'd have to say that the Schminke and the Holbein are sort of similar. The Schminke are delicious. So are the Daniel Smith. I'm really enjoying the Holbein. I think the Holbein are going to end up being my sketch palette. My palette to take out to go urban sketching and plein air sketching. I like the colors that I got. I like how the paint goes on. It did dry a little bit differently than I thought. I guess I didn't have the pans full because they kind of, when they dried, they sunk in some. So some of the half pans weren't as full as I thought they were. But that's okay because there's plenty in there, and I'll just add more as I need it from the tubes. But people were asking why I had two journals. So at the end of this, you're going to see where I document my day in both journals, and you're going to see how different it is. This is Tuesday and Wednesday in the journal, and then you're going to see Thursday, and you're going to see the thing where my daughter did the drawing. So here's where my daughter drew the park. And she did a really good job. She used watercolor pencils, an Eno mechanical pencil, and I don't know what color she used. She also used a water brush and a ballpoint pen. And I love what she did with it. She left a little bit of blank space at the bottom. She wrote the word park and her initials and stuff, and then I date stamped it. So I'm below that on the bottom. I wrote my initials, and I'm going to write fish and put the quotation marks, and then over to the left I'm going to do the doodle wash thing. I added the washi tape with the orcas on it. I'm pretty sure those are mammals, though. If my memory serves me well here, I'm pretty sure those are mammals, but I think shark are fish. But anyway, yeah, sharks are fish. I know that, but I think orcas are mammals. So I will be knowing for sure come next month when I'm doing sea creatures for the whole month, and the week of my birthday is Shark Week, so I'll be doing sharks that week, all different kinds of sharks. Now, the month of July is going to be a really busy month, like I talked about, I think, already. Victor's birthday, my birthday, Camp NaNoWriMo, One Book July, all kinds of stuff is going on in July. And to be honest, I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing for Camp NaNoWriMo or what my goal is going to be. I think I'm going to continue to work on the Witchy Business novel. I don't know. I'm also participating in July in World Watercolor Month. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I am thinking about telling a story with World Watercolor Month, maybe. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind whether I want to follow the prompts. I don't know. So I had a lot of fun creating this page. I didn't want it to be super serious. My daughter's picture was more serious. I wanted to sort of just have some fun. Sometimes when I'm in pain, and I've been in pain, and I can't really concentrate, instead of trying to have an illustration that looks more realistic or whatever, I just have a bit of fun. And that's what I do with this page. And it was a lot of fun. So you're going to see, because I'm not going to talk for a whole lot longer. Like I said, the medicine's got me woozy. But you're going to see where I document the days in the journals. You're going to see the journal part. I'm going to add some music to the end of this video and let you sort of see what I'm doing, because I don't need to talk through the whole thing. Talking for 40 minutes, that's a lot. So I hope that you enjoy this, though. I hope that this makes a little bit more sense. I'd have to say that the Omni Journal has become more of my journal / commonplace journal / whatever, along with bullet journal, creative bullet journal, and like I said, this smaller sketchbook has actually become more of my art journal, my artist journal kind of thing. And I really love what I'm doing, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm going to keep practicing, and I'm feeling a little bit better today. We're about to get more rain, so the pain's going to come again. So I think tomorrow I may do a live video. I'm going to, while this saves and uploads, do today's journal pages and film that, because I have a prompt to do, and or more, and I also need to do a few other things, and I need to figure out what I'm going to do for the newsletter video. I haven't decided whether I want to make, I don't know, I want to do something about creativity, and if y'all have any suggestions, I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and you have a great day, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye, y'all.